Hello friends, my name is Gerry. I hope you're doing well. I know videos have been really slow on this channel this year, but a big part of that is because I've been gigging quite a bit in 2025. Whether it be at cons performing my solo/video game stuff or with my band High Sierra Club, I thought it'd be fun to go over the gear I've been using since it's changed quite a bit since the 2024 rig. Plus, the Line 6 Helix Stadium XL just dropped like a few weeks ago, and I pre-ordered the smaller normal Helix Stadium, which hasn't quite launched yet at the time of me making this video. But with that, I anticipate the rig changing once again in 2026. So I figured let's just go over the stuff that I'm using right now. Plus the Stadium backpack was already shipped to me, so it's right around the corner. I think the biggest change, or theme I should say, going from last year's rig to this year's rig is minimalism. A lot of the gigs that I've been playing have really required a more utilitarian approach. So like one guitar, one pedal, maybe some backing tracks. So I've ditched a lot of the guitars, the rack, the laptop, at least for the time being. So I don't know if it's nostalgia or I'm just getting old or whatever, but the very first electric guitar that I fell in love with was the Gibson Les Paul. I've been kind of on this like throwbacky kick lately, and it's felt very appropriate for the kind of old school sonic stuff I've been playing and a lot of the alternative pop punk stuff I play in my band. So I needed one guitar to kind of rule them all, and I acquired this beautiful Gibson Les Paul studio session late last year, and I'm just completely in love with this thing. It's completely stock. The only thing that I've added to this is this Gator fret mute to kind of dampen any ringing overtones from the strings. But like most Les Pauls, this is made out of a mahogany body with a maple cap. You have a mahogany neck with an ebony fretboard. You have a nice slim taper neck with this nice contoured heel for easy access, so makes all of those shreddy bits pretty easy to play. You have Grover tuners, a Gibson 57 Classic in the neck, a Classic 57 Plus in the bridge. Normal three-way switch, and you have your push-pull pots to do things like coil taps, phase reverse, and the pure bypass thing that's been kind of popular in Les Pauls lately. All in this beautiful, beautiful cobalt burst finish. You will never guess why I got it in this color. So that's my main guitar, but sometimes if I have a fly gig or if I need a backup, I've been giving my old Epiphone G400 Silverburst SG some love. This is mostly stock aside from the pickups. In the neck I have a Seymour Duncan 59 SH1, and in the bridge I have a Custom 5. And I've also added some push-pull pots for some coil splitting for good measure. For transportation, Gator was really kind to send me this Gator Pro Go gig bag, and this is just like my favorite case ever. The build quality is incredibly sturdy, and it's the perfect blend of hard case qualities with a lot of the features that you would find on a gig bag, like backpack straps on the back and lots of pockets. So this has been just perfect for fly gigs or when I tour with my band.
Record me, Gerry.
What up?
Record me, Gerry.
Inside the case I have things like this lovely pink guitar strap from Levy's, a foldable guitar stand, my iPad Air 2, I'll get into that later when I talk about backing tracks, this Ernie Ball neon pink guitar cable, a capo, picks. These days I've been using the 1mm Dunlop Flow picks, Eargasm earplugs, and I have this Boss Katana Go with a pair of Shure 215 in-ear monitors, which has been really great for practicing or warming up backstage before a gig. And with that, just the guitar, and we're all zipped up and ready to go. Okay, Gerry from the future here. So on our recent Arizona run, I actually ended up eating it pretty hard backstage. I don't really have any footage of it, but you can definitely hear it here. And then there's Jake running over to make sure I was okay. I was getting ready to walk my gear up on stage, gator case in backpack mode, and I tripped on a random kick pedal and I fell all the way down. I ended up on my back, so that meant that the guitar in the case took the brunt of it, and I was like, oh no, my Les Paul. That's it, it's over, bring on the headstock break. But it was perfectly fine. I was actually shocked, so thank you, gator cases. I keep both of them in standard tuning, occasionally switching to drop D tuning. They're equipped with Ernie Ball Ultra Slinky 10 to 48 strings, and if I need to transpose to a different tuning like D standard or drop C tuning, I just use the Poly Capo block in the Line 6 Helix. Speaking of which, let's talk about that. I think a lot of you know that I'm a huge fan of the Line 6 Helix, and although not much has changed here, the big change from last year's rig to this year's rig is that I went from using the Helix rack to this Helix floor here. This was to better accommodate the types of gigs I've been playing. Unfortunately, I'm not really doing the solo thing with a drummer and in-ear monitors so much these days, so I needed a form factor that was going to better suit, say, when I play a convention or when I'm playing with my band. I got this one in this really cool space gray color from Sweetwater, and man, this thing has just been rock solid. For my solo / video game stuff that requires a lot of lead playing, I've been using the Solo Lead OD amp model. For tight rhythm stuff, I'm using the EV Panama Red model. For lower gain crunch sounds, I'm using the Placator Dirty model. And for cleans, I'm using the Placator Clean model. If you take a close look, you can see that I'm using a few screen guards for the main display and scribble strips. My buddy Chad Boston makes these. I've actually used his screen guards for all kinds of Helix products in the past, so I absolutely recommend them. I'm also using a Line 6 DT25-112 cab in tandem with a Seymour Duncan PowerStage 170 for some stage volume. This is really handy for those times when you're playing in some less than ideal live conditions where maybe your monitor mix isn't the best, or heck, sometimes you do even get a monitor. I've run into that a few times. So this combo really saves the day. I accomplished this by creating a split in the signal path. So here you can see I have all of my effects and such, and right before the cab block I create a split. That way I can give the sound guy the signal with the IR, that gets fed to the PA, and then from the split, my cab gets everything but the IR. So all of my amps and effects are pushed out of send 1, I feed that to the PowerStage 170 with a guitar patch cable, and then I feed a guitar speaker cable from the PowerStage to my little cabinet. I really do love this hybrid approach. You get the best of both worlds this way, and it's compact and easy to transport. Speaking of which, I'm using the tried and true Helix backpack to pack all of this gear up. This main compartment fits the Helix itself. In this small front pouch I keep the PowerStage, and in the big front pouch I pack all of the goodies. A speaker cable, various patch cables, a USB cable, a stereo DI box for backing tracks. Again, I'll get into that in a sec. An 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch Y cable, and a couple of IEC cables. Now for those gigs where I have to pack very lightly, say because I have to fly or something of that nature, I'll whip out the Line 6 HX Stomp. I actually got this ages ago, and I even have unboxing footage from like all the way back in 2020. I meant to do like a whole demo on it, and I just never got around to it. But yeah, it's incredibly small form factor, just makes it perfect for throwing this in your backpack. Okay, let's talk about backing tracks and MIDI preset changes. So back in my 2019 live rig video, I was using an old iTouch, I think, with an app called SoundQ to launch backing tracks. I really liked that form factor for its simplicity, so I wanted to revisit that again. In its place now, I have my old iPad Air 2 doing the heavy lifting. SoundQ has actually been delisted from the App Store, and it was only ever available for Apple products. But now I'm using an app called Easy Performer, which is very similar to SoundQ, but with a ton more features, and is available for Android users as well. This is a paid app, but it's not subscription-based, and I think it's entirely worth it. And yes, I'm aware of showcase mode in the Helix Stadium, which will probably make a lot of this stuff obsolete in the very near future. But A, I don't have one yet, and B, if you're not looking to upgrade from your current Helix, or just have a different modeler of choice, I think this makes for a very good option. Making a cue in Easy Performer is super easy.
Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really?
I load all of my tracks into my iPad beforehand using iTunes, or what's it called now? Music? Apple Music? I don't know. God, I'm so old. Then in Easy Performer, you tap the edit button, select the blank cue, tap on Add File, tap on Import Files, and here you can choose to import from either the internal file system, import from website, or import from music. I'm going to select Import from Music. Then you can select what tracks you want to import into Easy Performer. Then tapping on the specific song you want to use will automatically create a cue, and that's it. That's all you have to do to create a cue and get going. There's another feature on this app that initially sold me on it, and that's being able to send MIDI messages over Bluetooth. To unlock this feature, you do have to pay a fee on top of buying the app. But oh boy, let me tell you that this makes life so much easier. And my brain immediately went to MIDI preset and snapshot changes on the Line 6 Helix. So here are the things that you're gonna need to achieve this. The gadget you'll need to pull this off, or at least the one that I use, is the WiDi Master Bluetooth MIDI adapter by CME. Eagle-eyed viewers might have already seen this in some of the B-roll and thought, what the heck is that thing? This is powered by the MIDI out on your Helix, so no power supplies required. Then on your iPad, you're going to need the WiDi app to establish the Bluetooth connection between your tablet and the dongle. Once that's all configured, load up Easy Performer and tap on the MIDI button towards the top. It's going to start looking for usable MIDI devices, and WiDi should pop right up. Select it, and now Easy Performer is connected to the WiDi dongle. From here, to program MIDI changes, tap on Edit, select the cue that you want to edit, then select Configure MIDI. A new page is going to open up, and the way that this works is on the bottom you can see the timeline of your song. To the right of that you have 4 different types of MIDI commands that you can program throughout your song. MIDI start, program change, control change, and MIDI note. So you hit play, and as the song is going, you then time the MIDI changes that you want to program to the different parts of the song. Now, I know the world of MIDI can be a little bit daunting, so I'm just going to show you the way that I use it in this video. But to get a more in-depth overview on Easy Performer, I recommend checking out Scott Yule's video on the app. That's exactly where I got this idea from, and he goes into greater detail on how and why certain MIDI messages do the things that they do. So I'll have that linked in the description. For my Helix presets specifically, I like to design them so that each preset covers a specific song, and within those presets, I'm using snapshots to switch to the different sounds. So in Easy Performer, I'm only using 2 different types of MIDI commands. I use program change to change to a specific preset, and I'm using control change to control the snapshot changes. If we tap on our program change here, this value represents the preset that it's going to switch to. So if it said 1, it would jump to the first preset in a given bank in the Helix. If it said 15, it would jump down to the 15th preset, and so on and so forth. That's all pretty self-explanatory. Control changes need a little bit more info to pull off snapshot changes. The controller value needs to be set to 69. That's the specific value that controls snapshots in the Helix ecosystem. And then where it says value, this number represents which snapshot we're going to switch to. Now, in the world of MIDI, these command values start at 0, not 1, which can be a little confusing. So basically, if I set this value to 0, it'll switch to snapshot number 1. Setting it to 1 will switch to snapshot 2. 2, snapshot 3, and so on and so forth. Once you get your head around it, it's not so bad. If for some reason your iPad is connecting to the WIDI dongle just fine, but MIDI messages are just not working on your Helix, double check that the channel numbers are matching between Easy Performer and in the global settings of your Helix. I have these both set to channel 1, and also double check that under MIDI program receive and send that it's set to either MIDI or MIDI plus USB. Obviously, there are practically an infinite amount of ways you can use MIDI to control your Helix. I'm only really using it for preset and snapshot changes. And again, Scott Yule has a wonderful video showing you all of the ins and outs on how MIDI works inside of the Helix. I'll have that linked in the description. So yeah, with that being said, let's see all of this MIDI snapshot change happening in real time. I love the setup so much because it keeps me from doing all of that tap dancing, but say if the MIDI switching were to fail for whatever reason, I still have the floorboard in front of me and I can still do all of the switching manually. If for whatever reason a snapshot change feels like it was too early or too late, you can edit this value here under position or slide this fader to get it as precise as you want it to be. I have this cool tablet mount that I attach the iPad to. That attaches to a microphone stand so that I have easy access to it while performing. From here, I plug my 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch Y cable from the iPad to my stereo DI box, and I give that signal to the sound guy. So that's pretty much the rig that I use for my solo/video game stuff, but now I very want to quickly go over the setup that we use in my band, High Sierra Club, because it is a little bit different. I'm still using the Les Paul and Helix combo along with the cab, but I'm not utilizing the iPad or MIDI switching. We use a Roland SPD SX sampling pad, and that gets triggered by our drummer Dom.
Nice and messy, baby. Cables everywhere, lots of inputs, different every night. Backing tracks.
This setup allows us to feed stereo backing tracks and other little fun audio triggers to the sound guy, while also keeping Dom on in-ears using a small mixer so that he can listen to his own monitor mix that includes a click track so that he's able to count us in. The master out of the SPD hits a stereo DI box, and that's what we give to the sound guy. Then, using the throughput on the DI box, we feed that signal back to the mixer. The click track comes out of the left/mono sub out, and that directly hits Dom's mixer. And then we ask the sound guy at the venue to provide us a general band mix via XLR, and that's going to be the last leg that connects to the mixer. Now our drummer is in full control of his mix, triggering the backing tracks, all while keeping us in time. And then the last bit of gear to go over, Matt, our vocalist.
What's up, you goofballs? We're about to be up and playing some music in like right now.
Who you might have seen pop up in a couple of my videos in the past. Also plays guitar, and he uses a Gibson SG with a Line 6 HX stomp. You just go straight to the sound console using a DI box, no split for a cab or anything. We have been toying around with the Power Cab 112 for some stage volume though. And our bassist Jake uses a Sire V7 2nd gen bass, also with an HX stomp, and also direct to the soundboard using a DI box. Alright, well, thank you for nerding out with me and for watching this video. If you have any questions about any of the gear that I used in this video, be sure to leave a comment and I will answer it to the best of my ability. Also, in the description, I do have links to a lot of the stuff that I used. A lot of them are affiliated, so just know that your support helps in keeping this channel stay alive. Again, my name is Gerry. If you want to check out some of my previous live rigs, I have a playlist right here that you can check out. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to look out for new music in 2026, and I will catch you in the next video.